Hello. Welcome to an episode of the Short, Pale, and Handsome podcast. I'm your boy, Loy Lee. Today is Monday. Will be Monday, February 22nd. How are ya? How's your ma? Tell her I said hello. It's been, wow, the 22nd. We're done, February. February, we are out. This is the last podcast. Or is there one more? 22nd. Yeah, I think the next podcast will be in a new month. We are 2/12 done the 2021 year. Crazy. And the time just keeps on ticking. Happy Black History Month. Happy Chinese New Year. Also, happy Lunar New Year, if you must. Happy Happy Filipino History Month. A lot going on the shortest month of the year, 28 days, right? Yeah. Well, we're done. So, happy February. February. I want to let you guys know that your boy has started drinking. Yeah, again. It's been a while. I have not been drinking so much in Vegas. I think I probably have had like a small handful of beers. I think the last beer that I had prior to starting to drink again was like one beer with ramen a few weeks ago. And your boy's back on the wagon or off the wagon. I never know how that saying goes. But your boy started drinking again. And I started drinking. Excuse me. I'm not drunk right now. That was dinner hiccups. I started drinking because one of my coworkers me and him went out to grab a beer after work, and I've come to the realization that I am the old guy. Not at the store, just I am that old guy. Uh, the coworker that I ended up going out grabbing a beer with, I had a Sierra Nevada hazy little thing. That was so delicious. And then the conversation was so depressing. Not because he was depressing, but then I realized that I'm old. He's 22, I think. Maybe 23, 22. I think he's 22 and I'm 40. And there is nothing less that I want to talk about than work, after work with a coworker. If it's after work and we're coworkers, the last thing I want to do is talk about work and working on the work gave us to work on while at work. There's enough time to talk about that, right? There's like 40 hours in the week to talk about that. I don't think we need to talk about work more after work when we're not getting paid. But then it just came to the realization that I didn't have a lot to talk to him about. Not because of anything other than myself, right? I'm projecting my insecurities on him, but he's 22 years old and I'm doing everything that I can to not be that old guy telling people how to live their lives, and it very quickly became like that. So I had to remind myself, slow down, Loy. Nobody wants to hear the way you would live your life if you were 22 again. Nobody wants to hear that shit, Loy. So I literally just had to stop trying to be a mentor. I don't know why. But I kept on finding myself dropping vague, ambiguous words of wisdom on how to live life, which basically sounded like an Instagram meme or like a fortune cookie fortune. Sure, let's go with that. Yeah, I just realized that I'm old. I'm realizing not only that I realize that I'm old, I think my body told me that I'm old. I've come to the realization that my life has become more or less obsolete in the eyes of a 22-year-old. And I see this every day when I'm seeing, like, on TikTok, the Gen Zers are attacking millennialers and how like we are outdated and not cool anymore. Everything that we do is not cool. The jeans we wear, not cool. The way we part our hair, not cool. The emojis we use, not cool. And I remember what it feels like because I feel like I was 22 like forever ago and also yesterday. Like I remember what it was like when I was hanging out with older people and they would give me words of advice and I said, "Fuck you, homie. You don't know my life. You don't know where I'm going." I should have listened. But I remember what it feels like. And I remember what it feels like to be like, that music's old. That shit's not music. This is music. That's not how you wear your jeans. We didn't have emojis back then. Clothes, music. I mean, I just remember what it was like to just look at people older than me and be like, "Holy shnikes, you are outdated. Go back to the soda fountain, Papa." I don't know. But it was depressing. So I have started drinking. Not only did like that Sierra Nevada hazy little thing get me back, like wetted my whistle, and then the combination of be like, holy shit, you're obsolete, bro. You are outdated. You're running the wrong operating system. I Yeah, just that depression in and of itself. I started drinking again, not heavily. I have limited myself to like 2 beers. If I sit down and I go home and I sit down and I'm writing or trying to forget my day, I I limit myself to like 2 beers. That's it, no more. And with that limit, I say, hey, if I'm gonna drink just 2 beers, I'm gonna drink myself some awesome craft beer. So an IPA, an India Pale Ale, or a DIPA, a double Indian Pale Ale, a triple, a quad. Actually, I haven't drinking any quads yet. A hazy, a New England style juicy IPA, something that's like, you know what, you deserve this. You are worth it. Something that allows me to think that like, hey, you're not drinking because you have a problem. You're drinking because you enjoy the experience. I probably have a problem, and I probably was conquering it, and then I started drinking again. Hi guys, my name's Loy. I'm an alcoholic. Hi Loy. So yeah, I've realized that uh, Vegas is not where I thought their craft beer selection game would be. Like, what do you mean? It's like maybe I haven't found it, or maybe they just don't offer it. But everywhere I go, I just was. It's like kind of just the big name IPAs and the big name. Like, I'm looking for that small brewery. I'm looking for a small brewery brand, small batches, talking about Boy Tunon, who got me into drinking this beer, that got me drinking like IPAs and gave me the idea of what it is that I'm looking for. Not my boy Eddie. Not my boy Eddie, who's a cicerone, the the snobby guy that tells you how to pair beer. He didn't get me into drinking. My boy Tunon did. And there's a couple episodes of us getting drunk and then me forcing him to play after the podcast while drunk. That's always fun. You can check that out. There's a couple episodes out there. I've been looking for like the craft beer section and I have not been impressed. But I think I'm just going to go down this rabbit hole, spending an exorbitant amount of money on craft beer, and I'm excited for that. It's going to be a new hobby that may or may not be my downward demise. Who knows? We'll figure this out. Once you start seeing me on the podcast drinking, your boy has a problem. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know when I have to. There's gonna have to be an email intervention. Just be like, "Hey, Lloyd, we love you. Please sit down. We want to talk to you today." It's not funny, but I will say that if I start drinking while I'm on the podcast by myself, that's when you know your boy probably needs you to reach out to him and send him an email. What's going on today, this week? I have been like my depression has kind of always been a topic that I've been talking about, and I've become susceptible to a lot of horrible ideas, not thoughts, not like, oh, you're thinking deep, dark thoughts. I'm not. I'm just having these horrible business ideas, and it doesn't help that like the woman put Gorilla Glue in her hair, and now she got like $30,000 in her GoFundMe and has like is selling merch and has her own PR team now and probably got picked up by an agency. Things when I read like that, I go, huh. So Gorilla Glue in the hair can get you famous. What do I gotta do? Tide Pods off the list. Somebody already did that. Gorilla Glue in the hair. Somebody did that. Fuck. I gotta come up with the dumbest idea and hope for the best. That's what goes through my mind throughout the week, especially when I'm selling cell phones and just being like, hey, sir, I know you want to get an iPhone, but what's the dumbest thing that you think you could do right now? Because there's a Lowe's right here and a Home Depot down the street. We could make this shit happen. Put caulking in my ears. I don't know. That doesn't even sound stupid. That doesn't even sound that like my brain doesn't think in obnoxious manners of being like, oh yeah, that would work. That would make you famous. Cocking in your ear. That's why I'm old. I'm so old where I thought cocking in your ear would be like the worst thing that you could do. But yet, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I just think people getting rich and famous over doing the dumbest thing, maybe on purpose, maybe on accident, is tempting. Because like less than a week later, somebody Gorilla glued a solo red cup to his face. He didn't get that famous. That's why you know that you can't do copycat things. You got to think of your own dumb thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna go bobsledding down the freeway off ramp. Nope, that sounds horrible. That like my brain doesn't even work that way. Loy, you're rambling. Yes. So yeah, be on the lookout for me to do some stupid shit, and then I'll start a GoFundMe page. Vegas, as of yesterday, as of last night, great segue, Loy. Vegas has started to open up. Before we had a max capacity of 50 people. So, comedy shows, not great, not the biggest moneymaker. After you pay the venue and then to pay the openers, like the headliners aren't getting paid much. So I stopped doing comedy. I haven't done comedy in freaking months because I got a job. And but Vegas is opening up. They are opening shows. The shows are returning, which is dope because now they've raised their capacity to 100 people max. So I guess Carrot Top and a bunch of other shows are opening up. And I'm happy. Like, I'm super happy in the regards to, like, I feel like it might be coming back to normal. This is the next step to being back to normal. But on the other hand, on my other side of the brain was like, hey, maybe this is not a good idea. Maybe this is where we fuck up and the numbers spike again. And maybe I'll be like Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog from Groundhog's Day. I'm going to stick my head out. I'm going to see that I'm going to see my shadow, my COVID shadow, and go, yep, 4 more years of this shit. It's almost been a year now. We're 2 weeks short of a year. That's crazy to me. 2 weeks short of a year where literally all of our lives have changed. Wild. Vegas is opening up. And, honestly, I would say that Vegas has always felt open to me since I moved here in August. Like, Vegas feels like, I don't want to say it's like nothing happened, but with the exception of shows, Like the only thing that wasn't going on was shows. Um, and now that those are more or less coming back, I'm hoping that it's a good thing. I'm hoping that it does not plunge us into a longer lockdown. I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is that I'm rusty. I'm rusty in comedy. I haven't done comedy in the two sets that I didn't feel good. It felt bad. And you never want for me it's like when you strike out at a baseball game, right? You strike out when you get three or four more at bats that game, and then the next day there's a game, and there's the next day there's a game. You might have a day off, and you get the point. You get like 400 at bats in 6 months, something crazy like that. And I think comedy's the same way. Like you strike out, you might strike out twice in a game, but you know you're gonna get your at bats, and you know you're gonna get back up there. And when I was doing comedy, it was like I could not even guarantee that I could get up once a night, or in this case, like more than once a week, twice a week. And you bomb, and then you just have days of thinking what went wrong. Was it as bad as I thought it was? Was it as bad as I thought it was? Uh, and you just think about that for days, and then you have another set, and you just bring all of that baggage with you. And it reminds me of like acting. Like when I was in Boston, I had a pretty good acting career, and then I moved to LA, and I expected to go on auditions, and it'd be really, really difficult. I expected it to just be like a dogfight everywhere, at every audition. Um, but no, the thing that they didn't warn me about acting as an actor in the audition process is like, sure, you bomb your audition today, and you don't know, you have zero clue when you're gonna get another audition, and they don't tell you these things. So I was mentally prepared to like get turned down and like, oh, you're not the right fit or whatever. I was expecting those things, but I wasn't expecting. I have no idea how to process the uncertainty of like having another audition. Even now, when I think back, I still think of like it bothers me. Like I feel tight in my chest right now, just thinking about the audition process. And that's a thing that I think maybe it was maybe other well, obviously other people have different experiences, but for like me, LA was expensive. I was working. There was like 2 years where I didn't even have a day off. I had a job during the day, like Tuesday through Saturday, and then I basically bartended 3 nights out of that week. So I just never had a day off. Literally never had a day off. And then like on a Thursday night, 6 o'clock, you get a phone call from your agent. Hey, we have an audition for you. That's amazing. That's freaking amazing. Well, what are the details? Tomorrow. Okay. 3 o'clock. Okay. Santa Monica. Like, well, you should have called me yesterday about this because I got to start driving now. It literally, like, from Hollywood to Santa Monica around that time would literally take you, no bullshit, an hour 20 if you were lucky. So you literally got to clear your whole schedule out. You got to like leave early, 3 o'clock. You got to leave at like noon to be on the safe side. You got to leave Hollywood at noon, and you go, and then you hour and a half to get there. 20, 25 minutes looking for parking. 10 bucks to park. You go up, you read your one line, you see the sides, and you're like, oh, fucking Asian accent. I hate my life. And you'd go and you do it, and they go, great, we'll let you know. And then that's it. 5 minutes. 5 minutes from checking in to going in to leaving, and then get back in your car. And now it's taking you 2 hours to get home because it's now rush hour. And the whole time you're like, I should have thought of that. Should have thought of this. You could have done better. You could have done better in your life to avoid all of this. You never get the call. And then you know you bombed. Like after at some point you just kind of put all of the scenarios together, and then like a week later you realize that they haven't called, and then you go, oh yeah, because I could have done this and I could have done this better. And then now that you're thinking about this, and you got nothing else going on, you have no other auditions, and you just think about what you could have done, and it kills you on the inside. And that's how I felt. Bring it back, Loy. And that's how I feel when it came to basically this last couple times I've done comedy. You know, I've done comedy. I think I've done 3 sets while I've been out here. One was good. The other 2 were a little on the rough side, and I hurt. You know, I hurt on the inside. These are the things that you don't talk about. You don't hear about. Like I hurt. And the big thing was like I've done this material. It wasn't like I was out here doing new material. Like I'm out here doing the same exact material that I've been doing, and for whatever reason, fucking flat. Shit hurts, man. So to say the least. Like now that Vegas is opening, I'm still apprehensive of going out, and I really, again, I am super hesitant because I am afraid of catching COVID. You know, like if I don't have to go out, they're not paying me an exorbitant amount of money. I'm not going out. I'm not going out. And then I'm going to be that first asshole when the numbers spike again in Vegas. I'm like, see, told you. And then be like mandatory lockdown. All of the shit that we progressed towards is now going to the shitter. I told you so. I want to be that first guy because I'm afraid. I have for the first time, you guys, your boy did. I don't know. I'm speaking in the third person. I'm proud of myself. For the first time ever, I did not file an extension in my taxes. I finally did my taxes before April. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever did my taxes before March. So I am growing up as a person. But I decided to like do my taxes early in the most depressing year of income that I've ever had. Like I actually lost money in my profession on paper, and that freaks me out because I've had issues with taxes in the past, and I know that like how much money you made and then negative. Like all of the deductions make it a negative. Like I feel like I'm gonna get audited again. I I mean I hope that they understand like, oh yeah, this is a this is like the worst year ever. And hopefully the little money that I did lose in the negative is not horrible. I hope I don't get audited. I hope you get rich. But it's depressing. It's depressing to like look at your taxes and knowing all of that money, this big chunk of money that I made was made in like the first 2.5 months of the year last year. And then you kind of like, you do the gorilla math and like go, okay, if this is 2.5 months, and then basically 2 months, multiply that by 6, and that's how much money I could. What? This is how much money I could have made? That I was on pace to make that kind of money? And then you look how much money you actually made, and the only thing that saved you was deductions. Shit's depressing, bro. But I am proud of myself. I'm proud. Like you got to find your wins, people. You got to find your wins where you find them. You got to take the wins when they come. And it's like, hey, I did my taxes first and foremost without an extension. Second of all, and third of all, I did them before March. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like Chris D'Elia in his apology, and people are just sitting at home watching me, being like, do you need a minute? I don't think we're supposed to be. You know, you're being recorded, right? kind of like Chris D'Elia. Like he finally kind of came out like 6 months later and sort of explained himself. And I don't really know the whole story. Well, no one's gonna know the whole story, right? But I don't really know like what we know. I don't even know what I'm supposed to know in that scenario. But I watched it. I started watching it, and I got like 5 minutes in, and I'm not even mad at Chris D'Elia. I don't even. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the situation enough, or like what are the known facts. I don't know these things, but I started watching it, and it got to feel like a confessional, which I guess that's what it was supposed to be, right? But it got to the point where I was like, huh, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here right now. Like it's like you walked in on the wrong intervention. Like you showed up and be like, "Hey guys, I'm here for the AA meeting," and they're like, yeah, that's not what's going on here." I'm super like happy that he came out and he's trying to, I guess, be better and move on, or maybe not move on. That might not be the right word, but like he finally came out and started talking about stuff, and I think that is the road to redemption, right? That's the hero. Isn't that literally the hero's journey, where like he started from nothing and then got to the top, and then he's plummeted down, and right, and then it's up, all the way down and up. I don't know. Uh, I'm happy. I'm happy that there is a road to redemption. Maybe not road to redemption, a road for redemption. I don't know. But I was watching it, and it just felt very real, very somber, very like if it, yeah, like I said, I felt like I was at somebody's intervention, and I don't know how I ended up there. I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna get refreshments. You know what? I'm just gonna go to the store. I don't know. This is not even my family. I don't even know. I don't even know why I'm here. But yeah, that's kind of how it feels right now. Where especially like when it comes to comedy, when it comes to everything going on, like I don't feel good about it. And maybe that's like one part me being lazy, one part me not wanting to be an embarrassment, and one part I don't know. It's just a lot going on. I don't feel safe. But Lloyd, you're in public all the time. You're right. You're right. I deal with the public, um, in close proximity. I just that's it. That's all I got. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, can I wait longer? I think that's what it comes down to. Is like I feel like I can wait longer. Not only do I feel like I can wait longer, I feel like I should wait a little bit longer. Um, I got you guys. I got this. There's other things I could be doing. There's like a shit ton of things I could be doing that I'm not, that I should be, and I haven't gotten to it. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. There's a lot of things I could be doing, right? I could be doing this. There's I could be doing this better. I should be doing this better, but I don't know, man. If you guys are feeling the same way that I'm feeling, just this lost, confused, like apparently you're not alone because I'm lost and confused as well. I've been lucky to be able to make money outside of actual stand-up comedy, and I feel blessed. Um, I feel for people who have been doing comedy longer, or even at a younger age, where I was thinking like Dave Chappelle, a horrible example, but like Dave Chappelle, he started comedy when he was 14. And I know people that started comedy at 19 or 20, and they're now in their 40s. They've been doing comedy for 20 years. It's like, what skill set do you have that you could go out and make a living for yourself during the pandemic? And I feel for those people. Like I'm just lucky to have a skill set that is marketable and that I got hired. Um, and I think out of that respect, I'm just trying to say like, hey, I can wait a little bit longer. You guys go get yours. Please don't get sick. Stay healthy. But I can weather the storm a little bit longer. And it might not be the right that might not be the right thing for my career, but it feels right now. Right now. I don't know. Wow, Lloyd, that's a second podcast episode you've left on such a level of energy. Is there anything I want to talk about before? I mean, we're here. I reached the finish line, guys. 30 minutes. I got there. We got here together. If you're still listening, fuck yeah. We're in this shit together, man. I want to say thank you. I left you guys for a little while. I don't want to talk about that, right? I don't want to be more depressing. But I will say I feel thankful. I feel thankful that I have something to do, somewhere to go. It's not really going anywhere. But I feel like I've got a duty, right? Not that it's a job. I don't know. I feel like I've got an obligation. There we go. I feel like I've got an obligation that gives me something to look forward to, and it gives me something to think about. Like throughout the week, I kind of just jot down things to think about, to talk about. And I just want to thank you guys. If you've listened once, if this is your first time listening, thank you. Thank you for showing up. If this is not your first time, if you've been here since forever ago, I want to say thank you because without you guys, I would probably be less of a good person. Um, I'd I will probably be a less tolerable person. Um, and it's because you guys are here for me, whether you guys know it or not. Oh, that's so nice. Hey guys, I, promos. Yeah, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm here on YouTube. If you guys aren't familiar with my YouTube channel, this is on my YouTube channel, Lloyd Lee Comedy, on YouTube, right? YouTube youtube.com, Lloyd Lee Comedy. It is the visual portion and the audio portion. If you're just listening to this, you watch the video if you want. If you guys are not familiar, you're like, hey, I like all of this, but I wish I could see less of you. I got this on podcasts. Basically, anywhere you get podcasts, you should be able to find the Short, Pale, and Handsome. That's all I got. I love you. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Fucking love you guys.